Jai Hind learners. I am Dr. Monica Mehrotra, Associate Professor, Swami Vivekanand Subharti University. Welcome you all. Students, today we are going to discuss some content related to economics. Let's start. So what are the contents I am going to tell you? First of all, we are going to discuss regarding economics, nature and characteristics of its scope, relationship with other discipline, concept of utility, law of diminishing marginal utility and concept of consumer surplus. Student, these all content are very important to understand economics. As you all are studying managerial economics, so before knowing this content, you can't able to understand managerial economics. So let's start with economics. Student, economics is a science, or you can say it is a social science concerned with the production, distribution and consumption of goods and services. Economics can generally be broken down into macroeconomics and microeconomics, which is concentrated on the behavior of aggregate economy, and when we are talking about the microeconomics, which focus on individual, consumer and business. So you can understand there is a two branch of economics, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics deals with the individual unit of economic content, where the macroeconomics will deal the economy as a whole. So let's start what is the nature of economics. The economics is regarded as a social science because it's used scientifically methods to build theories, and that can be helped to explain the behavior of individual, groups or organizations. Economics attempts to explain economic behavior which arises when scarce resources are exchanged. Students, the scarce resources are very important to understand economics, because when there is unlimited wants and limited resources, so limited resources will create the scarcity, and here in the economics we are studying about the scarcity. So what is the nature and the scope of economics? Let's start and we will go further in detail. Then the economics is defined as a social science that deals with the production, distribution, consumption of goods and services, and the nature and scope of economics depends on the interaction of economic agents and how economies is working. So we will discuss that how economies is working, how economy can go, and how we are using the scarce resources for the betterment of the economy. So what are the fundamental problem of economy? And this is the very important part of to understand the economics. So there are three things which is important, and what are the, it can be called the problems of an economy. That is what to produce. The second one is how to produce, and the third one is for whom to produce. So students, this question is important and you have to understand the answer of these three questions. When you will get the answer of these three questions, you can able to understand how you are going to solve the problems of central problem of the economy. So let's start what to produce. Student, the problem what to produce can be divided into two related questions. First, which goods are to be produced and which not, and second, in what quantities those goods which the economy has decided to produce are to be produced. If production resources were unlimited, we could produce as many numbers of goods as we like, and therefore the question what goods to be produced and what not would not have arisen. But because resources are in the fact scarce relative to human wants, and economy must choose among the different alternatives collection of goods and services that it should be produced. So you can understand then that what to be produced. Now come to how to produce. This is also a very important question of central problem of economy, that how to produce. The problem of how to produce means which combination of resources is to be utilized for the production. Combinations, right? You know, how the combination of goods, which technology is to be made of use, or like you know the technology and the like goods, where we are producing it. We are definitely going to use these two things in a production. So once the society has decided what goods and services are to be produced and in what quantities, you know, quantities also. So it must then decided how these goods shall be produced. Okay. So these are the various alternative methods of producing a goods, and the economy has to choose among them, technology and the quantity, right? So how to produce, how much you are going to produce, and what are the technology you are going to use. So this is the answer of how to produce. The third one is for whom to produce. Whatever we are doing, what it is has decided what to produce, how to produce. The third one is for whom we are going to produce. So once the problem of what and how to produce are solved, the goods are then produced. Because of the resources and resulting of output of goods are limited, the third basic economic decision which must be taken is for whom to produce. For whom to produce means how the national product, is to be distributed among the member of the society. In other words, for whom to be produced means that should get how much of the total amounts of goods and services produced in the economy. It's very easy to understand for whom we are going to produce. Definitely it is going to be in the society. So the total national income is to be distributed among the society. So the person who are, the members who are living in the society, we are producing for them only. So these are the three basic questions and the answer of these three questions. Now come to the another points, student. As we all know that economics is the mother of all subject, or you can say economics is the mother of all discipline. So the next very important topic to be covered in this session is that what are the relationship, or you can say the relationship with the other discipline. No? So how economics is related to the other discipline, how economics is related to the other subject, we will discuss here. So when we are talking about the other discipline, economics is classified as a social science. We know that economics is a social science. This view makes that economics an academic relative of political science, sociology, psychology, anthropology, all these disciplines studies and you know the behavior of human beings individual in group. It doesn't mean that if we people are living in the society, so society is important. No, the individual is as much as important, because we people are the part of society. So whenever the individual studies is there, directly or indirectly it should be reached to the society itself. So let's start with the economics and the relationship of psychology. So economics is particularly concerned with the consumption, production and resources used by individual and groups. Economics is also concerned with the produce by which household and firm make decisions about the use of scarce resources. However, the primary interest of economics lies on those actions that are reflecting in market activity or in economic decision made through the government. See, student, don't be confused, because here we are telling we are talking about the psychology. So when we are talking about the psychology, it will relate it to the human beings, and before we have already discussed that it is the study of production, consumption. Consumption is what? Consumption is using something, and why we are using, why we are utilizing the things, because we want the satisfaction. That's it. So, if non-vegetarian people are there, so if you will ask vegetarian people, do you like non-veg? So, he will say, no, no, I don't like it. So, definitely when we are talking about the psychology, so consumption pattern depends on the individual psychology. So, definitely economics is very much related to the psychology. Now, come to the other very important subject, that is sociology. So, how economics is related to the sociology, why we are sociologists or interested in all facts of organized human activities, like economics are interested mainly in organizing activity that related to the production and the consumption of goods and services. As a general rule, economics assumes that individual pressure their self interest and respond to various signals or incentives in the light of self interest. Although this may seem obvious that the somewhat different viewpoint of human behavior from that the psychologists and sociologists, that the prescriptive often leads economics to draw different conclusions. So, sociology, we all are living in the society, and all acts, whatever the acts we are doing in the society, it's giving impact to our nation, it's giving impact to our national income, it's giving impact to our income, and definitely it will also give impact on the consumption, on the distribution, everything, everywhere we will see it. So, definitely the economics is related to that particular thing. Now, economics is related to how economics is going to be related with the political science, and all we will discuss it out. It's very easy to understand that economics interact with almost all other economic discipline. It is the view when we are talking about that politics or the political science. So, you can see that whatever the decision, whatever the decision or the policy is making by the government is going to be impact on our society and all. For example, like public finance and financial relationship, these are the things which is very much important. Suppose budget is a part of government. Every year government is declaring some budget, and everyone, every individual or in the businessman, everyone, every sector, whether it is a sector of household, whether it is a sector of business sector or external sectors or itself the government sector, these all sectors are very much conscious about each and every word, because the policies are impacting on economic activity. So, economics is very much related to political science. Now, how economics is related to statistic. One major function of economics is to conduct the research. Without the research is very important, and it is a very important part of economics. The job of company economics is to be investigate or the economic aspects and various decisions. Government agencies and private business firms agree the vast average of economic statistics on such a matter like income, employment, price, expenditure, patterns also, and it is two-way street existing and the statistical data and the economic theory. Without, see, if the right data has been not collected, that there is a somehow the policy, the decision is will not going to be right. So, the population, when you are talking about that, the population is increasing. So, how we are going to understand, how we will going to know that how the population is increasing? Without data collection, we cannot able to say that population is increasing. So statistics plays an important role, and though it is the scarce resource and all, so it is definitely going to be related to economics. So, this is the one part of economics. Now, we will come to the another part, and that another part which is very important and you should all understand, that is utility. So, we will discuss what is utility, the meaning of utility, the types of utility and the characteristics of utility. So, let us start with that meaning of utility. So, what is the utility? The want satisfying power. I am again repeating it. The want satisfying power of a commodity is called utility. want satisfying power. Every human being is having a number of wants, and we all want to satisfy these wants. Then how we are going to satisfy, for like what are the main helper to satisfy these wants? Definitely goods and services. So the power, the quality of satisfying power of any goods and services is known as a utility of that particular goods and service. Suppose I am a teacher and you want to understand economics. So I am having the power to satisfy your want to understand the content of economics. But if you are having fever and you are coming to me, ma'am, I am not well, so I cannot able to help you out. It doesn't mean I am not having the utility, but right now you need a doctor. So you need to go to the doctor, right? So here what is your want? Your want is to be free yourself from the fever, so you need to go to the doctor, and if doctor is giving the medicines to you, then he is having the quality, he is having the utility for you. Understand? So again I am repeating it, that the want satisfying power of a commodity is called as utility. It is a quality processed by a commodity or services to satisfy human wants. Utility can also be defined as value in use of commodity, because the satisfaction which we get from consumption of a commodity and its value in. So hopefully you understand that what is utility. Now come to the what are the various types of utility. There are a number of types of utility. I have taken some important types of utility for you. So in this we will discuss about place utility. So when the furniture is taken to be like the factory or the shop for sale, it leaves the place utility. This is because it is the transported from one place to where it has to be buy to a place where it fixed a price or fixing the price. You can you can see it, na? Like you want a furniture for you. I am just giving the example, place utility I am talking about. Suppose you want a study table for you, or you want a study chair for you, right? So you are going to the market and you are buying the things and you are fixing the price. Okay, I am ready to pay this money, and you are ready to like get that particular table or chair. The place may be different, but when it will come to your room or your home, then the place has changed. So it is a price utility, right? Now the second one is time utility. When I am just trying to give you that examples to understand it. Na? When the farmer stores his wheat after harvesting for a few months and sells it when its price rises, it created time utility and added to the value of wheat. Everybody knows, like the aged rice is like costly. So aged rice means you have to be store the rice in 2 or 3 years, and after that if farmer will send that particular rice, the price will high before 3 years. So it is called as a time utility, right? Service utility, like when doctors, teachers, lawyer, engineers, extra, satisfying human wants through their services, they create service utility. It educate through the specialized knowledge and skills. I am telling you, like I have given the examples to you, that doctor cannot work as a barber do for you, and the doctor cannot and the teacher cannot do the work as the salesmen or anybody else do for you. So every people are having their own specialization, own special activities they can do. So it is known as a service utility. So profession utility, it is called also called as a added of changing the profession of a commodity. Like for example, a book of economic theory has little utility for a layman, but if will owned by the student of economics, professional utility can be created. So if you are going to buy, it's simple. Profession is what, like whenever we are choosing a profession, that thing is very important for us. So if you'll give any medical shop to the non-medical students, so there is no utility for them. But if you'll ask to the medical student, then what is the utility of this book for you? He will say, well, it is everything for me. So the profession means a lot in the term of utility. The next one is knowledge utility. So definitely it's very easy to understand. When the utility of a commodity increase with the increase of the knowledge about its use, it can be create the knowledge utility through the the advertisement and to the propagandas, So in our management, it's very common, like when advertisement is there, the people will understand how to use. For example, like you brought a camera for you, but you don't know how to operate the camera. So there is no use to buy it, there is no means utilization, how you are going to utilize it, that is important, and that knowledge is given by some expert also. So this increase like the things which is important for you. So this is called as a knowledge utility. Natural utility, definitely it's my favorite types of utility, because what right now this utility is really needed. And now first of all, I will tell you what is natural utility. All free goods such as water, air, sunshine, etc. is a natural utility. Right? It gives the natural, it processes the natural utility. They have a capacity to satisfy our want. Nothing can be good to see a rising sun. So if these are the free of cost given by the nature to us, it's our responsibility to procure or save them. No. So this is the utility which is important, and every human beings has to be responsible for that. So these are the these are the type of utility. Now come to the characteristics of this utility. One is utility and usefulness. So here we will discuss about the difference between these two, and it's very easy to understand. Anything having utility does not mean that it is also useful. If a good process wants satisfying power, it has utility, but the consumption of that good may be useful or harmful. For example, the consumption of wine possesses utility for a human habitual of drinking, but if you talk like because of it satisfying his want of to drink, but the use of wine is harmful for health, but it has utility. Thus the utility is not usefulness. Here you can understand usefulness is different and utility is different. Like suppose a person who is a smoker, right, and another person is a non-smoker. So a smoker is getting the utility from every smoke, and non-smoker is not getting any utility and not getting any utility from cigarette or anything. But it doesn't mean that and it is visible. Smoking is injurious to health, it may lead cancer, it is visible there. But if you ask the smoker how much utility you are getting, are you getting the utility from smoking, he will say yes, of course, why not, it's too much. So this is the difference. A drinker got the utility to drink, but if non-drinker, people not getting any utility from the wine or any alcohol, right. Now come to the another point, that is utility and the satisfaction. Utility is the quality of power of a commodity to satisfy, as we know human wants, whereas satisfaction is reserved of utility. Apples lying in the shop of a fruit seller have utility for us, but we get satisfaction only when we purchase and consume them. It means utility is present even before the actual consumption of the commodity, and satisfaction is obtained after its consumption. Utility is the causes of satisfaction, it is the effect of result. Why I am trying to give you this example? You cannot say that apple is not having the utility, but when it will be, give you utility, when you will use it. When you will use it, then you will say I am satisfied, I have got the utility from them. So satisfaction without using, you will not get the satisfaction, and utility is always there, right. Now come to the another point, that is utility and pleasure. It is very common thing, you can able to understand. It is not necessary that commodity processing utility also gives pleasure when we consume it. Utility is free. from pain and pleasure. Utility is free from pain and pleasure. Like the injection process, utility for the patient because it can relieve him of his illness, but injection gives him no pleasure, right? Instead of giving him the pain, like here I will wanted to tell you, like suppose I'm not well or anybody is not well, utility and pleasure. Pleasure is what? When we feel very happy, when we feel very excited and all. So, if I am telling that injection or this medicine is having utility, yes it is have, because whenever you are using it, whenever injection will put on you, it will give you the utility, you will remove yourself from the disease. But when the injection is putting on your in you, so it will painful. So this is the difference between like pleasure and utility, right, or utility in the pleasure. So relationship between two is very easy to understand. The third one is utility must be the subjective. It is subjective to everyone. As I already given you the example that non-vegetarian is not like vegetarian is not getting any utility from non-vegetarian items, whereas if non-vegetarian having lot of utility from non-vegetarian items, right? So this is the thing. Smoker is getting a lot of utility or lot of satisfaction from cigarette and all. Non-smoker is not getting anything. So it is related to subjective, person to person. Next one is utility is relative. Utility is a relative concept. A commodity may be processed different utility as a different time and a different place or a different person. In olden days, Tonga or the greater utility, but now with the invention of bus, and Tonga is what? With the Asian people are using the Tanga, they are using horses and they are using the cow also, the bull also. So Tanga was the greater utility, but now when we are inventing bus and the utility become less. A train court the greater utility in hills area during the rainy season than the plain area. After a fan has greater utility in summer than the winter. So these are the things that it is, the relativity is important when we are talking about the utility relationship. Okay. The next point which is very important, the theoretical aspect of utility. So basically we are discussing about two type of theoretical aspects of utility. The number one is cardinal approach, or here what we are going to discuss, we are going to discuss the behavior, consumer behaviors, how consumer is behaving, right. After certain time we will discuss about the production behavior. So first of all, what is important, the consumer is important, because why, because we are talking about the utility and utility is directly related to the consumers, right. So consumer behavior we are going to study, and the first approach or the main approach, you can say there are two approaches are there. The first approach is cardinal utility approach or cardinal utility analysis. So let us discuss, students. Cardinal utility analysis is the oldest theory of demand which provides an explanation of consumers' demand for a production and drives a law of demand which establishes an inverse relationship between price and quantity demands of a product. Inverse relationship of these two. Yeah, what it means? It means when the price will high, definitely demand will low. What you people are like in the market, when you are moving and you want to purchase something, so what is the main thing which attracts you? When price is high, you will do less demand. If price will low, you will do high demand. So this is the inverse relationship. So let's discuss with the assumption of cardinal analysis or cardinal approach. The cardinal analysis has various approach, that measurability of the utility. The contents of the cardinal utility analyze the regard utility to be a cardinal concept, right. In other words, they hold the utility is the measurable and quantified equally, okay. And according to them, the person can be express utility or satisfaction in the drives from the goods or the quantitative cardinal term. The thus as a person says that the drives of utility equal to 10 units from the consumption of goods A of 20 units from the consumption of unit of good B. You know what exactly it says? It says that cardinal means calculated. So if anybody will ask you how much, suppose you are thirsty, okay, and you want to have a glass of water, and if I'll ask you how much utility you are getting from a glass of water, you can't say anything because you are thirsty. It is your psychology, you can't explain it. But cardinal approach will give you the way to explain it. That is, if you brought the water bottle or a glass of water of rupees 10, then you can say, madam, I'll got the utility of equal to the 10 rupees, right. The second assumption of hypothesis of independent utilities. So the second important thing is the cardinal utility analysis is the hypothetical or independent utilities. On this hypothesis, the utility which is consumer derives from a goods is the function of quantity of a goods, and that of goods only. In other words, the utility which a consumer obtains from a goods does not depend upon the quantity consumed of other goods. It depends upon the quantity purchase of that alone. If I am purchasing 2 quantity of or 3 quantity of a goods and services, so it's me who can able to analyze the quantity, right. Then the contingency of a marginal utility of money. Cardinal utility analyze the assumptions of a marginal utility of commodities, like diminishing of more than are, purchase of consumed, but the marginal utility of money remains constant. Like here I am telling you one thing, it is very important how you can get it. Suppose suppose you are having 10 rupees. 10 rupees is very less. Suppose you are having 500 rupees in your pocket, your parents is giving 500 rupees for you, to you as a pocket money. So every time whenever you are purchasing something, suppose you brought you are buying a book or 2 rupees of 200. So every time the money reduces. If the money reduces, then the utility will increase. But here it says that marginal utility of money will remain constant. Will very important, and you have to understand while understanding this approach. So in this approach we will discuss 2 things, that is law of diminishing marginal utility and law of equi-marginal utility, right. So now in next session we will discuss about these 2 parameters, these 2 analyses. Number 1, diminishing marginal utility, and number 2, law of equi-marginal utility. And remember, this is a part of cardinal approach of utility analysis or consumer behavior. Till that you will study this, and I am Dr. Monica Mehrotra signing off. Jai Hind students.
सुभारती